rates. Now this class will continue with one more problem in that profile. You can see, will you be able to see the screen? You can see a rectangular channel. There is a rectangular channel in which in the rectangular channel there are two reaches. One is reach M, another one is reach N. And with M being the upstream, M is on the upstream side and N is on the downstream side. The channel reaches have the following characteristics. What is the width of the channel at M? What is the width of the channel at N? And what is the discharging capacity? And what is the slope, bed slope? And what is the value of Manning's N? All the data are given for the channel reach M and N. Now you need to sketch the resulting GVF profile due to change in the channel characteristics. So the channel characteristics is changing because of the bed slope. That's a change in the bed slope. So it is something like this. So there is a change in this bed slope from S1 to S2 from M and N. Sir, good morning, sir. Children, sir, good morning, sir. எடுத்துட்டு போ வேணாம்லாம் யாரையும் சொல்லலையே சார். வேணுங்கிறவங்க போய் எடுத்துட்டு வந்துக்கிறாங்க. வரும்போது அப்படியே வந்து குவாரண்டைன் ஆகும்போது அவங்க திங்ஸ் Okay, I'm sorry. I had one call from Dean. So here we will continue. So you have to sketch the resulting GVF profile due to change in the channel characteristics with the given data. Now you know what is the discharge. Discharge per unit width is 15 divided by the width. So Q by B, you are getting what is your small q. And the critical depth for rectangular channel YC M, YC N. So you are putting critical depth at section M. Q square by G whole power 1 by 3, you have found out what is your critical depth. Similarly, the section N, you have the discharge per unit width and you have the critical depth Q square by G the whole raised to 1 by 3. then you are getting what is the critical depth at this point. Now you can see the section normal depth calculations. You have the section reach m and n, and you know the phi value. Phi is equal to n into q divided by square root of s naught b raised to 8 by 3. You are calculating what is your phi, and from phi you are finding, you know, the values of n. What is your Manning's n? Now the normal depth computations from phi, sorry, your y naught by b is nothing but your eta, which is computed from the table 3a.1. Then by interpolation you are taking the value of y naught by b. Then you are finding what is the value of y naught from this. So you know what is my normal depth at section m and n. Okay, now what is the slope classification? So here your y naught is 3.3 and your yc is point. So this is yc, I think this is yc. Yc is 0.97117 and our y naught is 2.9 and your yc is 1.12. So your yc is lesser than y naught, hence it is a mild slope. So here also your ysc is lesser than y naught, then the slope classification is because your normal depth line and critical depth line, your critical depth line is lesser than your normal depth line. So this is only possible for mild slope. Okay. Now what is the nature of break in the grade? Okay. Now nature of break in the grade, if you see, the channel slope actually changes from mild slope to steeper mild, and you have the M2 curve in the first channel reach, because the curve which has the upstream asymptote of y naught is equal to, sorry, y is equal to 3.03 meter. So you can see 3.03 meter has well above the critical depth line and normal depth line. So he can say that this is a M2, sorry, this is an M2 curve. And the curve has a, when you are ending up in the section channel reach N, you have 2.902 at the junction. And you can see the profile. If you see the profile, you can still understand. So now you can see the normal depth line and critical depth line. So here normal depth line is 3.3 meter, critical depth line is 0.97 meter in channel reach M. And channel reach, this is channel M. Okay, and this is channel N. So here the bed slope is 0.004, and here this is 0.003. So this is milder to milder. Okay, and here if you see that y naught is 3.3 meter and yc is 0.97 meters. So how the flow will be? The flow, there is a break, and if you see here you have yc is 1.12 and y naught is 2.9. So your normal depth line is reducing from 3.3 meter to 3.3 meter to 2.9 meter, and hence the flow will be like this. So the flow will be like this, isn't it? So now what is this actually? When 3.3 to 2.9, when the normal depth is changing, then obviously it is in between normal depth line and CDL, hence the curve is a M2 curve in the channel reach M. And if you take this normal depth line and this one, here what actually the nature of curve is, actually it is flowing on this, and hence you can say this is a again M curve. You can see here in channel reach N, it is steeper mild or it is mild slope profile M in case of channel reach N. So the change of the slope is channel slopes changes from mild slope to steeper mild, and you have M2 curve in the channel reach M, and it is formed in the reach of M. You have M2 curve, and this curve has an upstream asymptote. Actually, you know, this upstream asymptote is nothing but your normal depth 3.3 meters, and it is ending at 2.92 meter at the junction of these two reaches. So 3.3 is changing into 2.9 at the junction of these two reaches. Okay, so the nature of profile will be like this. So it will be coming like this. M2 will be there, then it comes to mild slope profile for the second reach, channel reach N. Okay, so this is a typical problem in the profile, estimation of your profile. Now we will go to how to compute gradually varied flow computations. So what is gradually varied flow computation? There are the depth of individual depth. How are you going to estimate the individual depth? It is nothing but the estimation like this. So what is this depth? Y1, Y2, Y3. Suppose I wanted to Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4, Y5. Then only I will be able to draw this profile. So this computation of profile at various intervals all along the gradually varied flow. This is nothing but computation of GVF profile. So how we are going to compute the GVF profile? So actually there have been different methods for the gradually varied flow computations, starting from Wen-T Chow is the one who has actually done a lot of work in this profile estimations. There are different methods for the computation of gradually varied flow profile. We will see each profile method, each method, how this could be estimated. So one is direct integration. Numerical method. And graphical method. These are the different methods used for the computation of GVF profile. Okay. So if you take the direct integration method, how the direct integration method is done, you'll see the. So out of this methods, this is seldom used. Graphical method is seldom used. and the numerical method is extensively used. And our direct integration is our academic interest, which is very much useful for the computation purpose. So we are going to discuss on direct integration. Tablespoon. So the differential equation of GVF profile in terms of section factor and convenience factor, which we have discussed previous classes, and you know that this equation is a well established equation which we have discussed in the class also. So dy by dx equal to s naught into 1 minus k naught square by k square divided by 1 minus zc square by z square. And if you see this terminologies, it is a non-linear first order ordinary differential equation. Now this can be integrated by analytical method. From that you can get the analytical solutions. Okay, and this is possible only with some conditions. From the restricted conditions you are going to follow this. Okay, and this has been developed by Chow. Chow is the person who has done a lot of work in open channel flow. Even you can see the book also, Wen-T Chow by Open Surface Flow. He has done a lot of work, and Manning's the computation, everything is the contribution of Chow actually. This is called Wen-T Chow. He is one of the author of this open surface flow. In 1950s, he has done a lot of work in this. It is the mainly basic based on the assumptions. Actually, we are going to derive the open channel flow. Sorry, a gradually varied flow profile. Now we will be knowing, and this dy by dx is nothing but your function of y. Now we will be taking up to find out y, and y is equal to f of x. The depth ranges from y1 to y2. There are two different depths. And what are the assumptions you are making? One assumption is conveyance at any depth of y is nothing but k square is equal to c2 into y raised to n. And at any depth y naught is k naught square is y naught is nothing but normal depth. K naught square is equal to c2 into y naught power n. Okay, this implies that in the depth is ranging from y1 to y2, y0, and the coefficient C2 and the hydraulic exponent n. Hydraulic exponent n are constants. These are going to be constants. And the section factor, this is conveyance factor. The section factor is z is equal to, at any depth, z2 is equal to c1 into y raised to m. Okay, and at any critical depth, you can say and at a critical depth y0, your zc squared is equal to c1 into yc raised to m. So which implies that again y1, y2, yc, which represents the depth of the ranges. Yc is a critical depth, and the c1 and the m are constants, coefficients and first hydraulic exponent constants. Now we can substitute in the equation the dy by dx equal to s naught into k naught. So what is that equation you have? K naught by, so you have k naught by k the whole square. So k naught by k the whole square is nothing but your k naught square is c2 y power n, c1 sorry, c naught y naught power n. So you'll be having y naught by y the whole raised to n, yc by y the whole raised to m. Now I am substituting for y by y naught is equal to y by y naught is equal to u. Then your dy is nothing but du into y naught. Y naught, or you can say y naught into du. Now I can substitute for dy by dx equal to du by dx into s naught divided by. So you can substitute for du. So here 1 minus 1 y naught by y is your, in terms of u you are substituting. So your y naught by y is going to be 1 by u. So substitute 1 by u whole raised to power 1. And similarly here yc by y also substituting. We are taking out yc by y, yc power m and y naught power m into, in terms of y you are substituting in terms of y naught. So you'll be having yc by y naught power m naught divided into y by 1 by u raised to m. And then upon simplification of this, so where dx equal to y naught by s naught into 1 minus 1 by 1 minus u power n plus yc power. You are substituting, and you are you need not remember all these derivations. Maybe this derivation you just go through, and you can substitute, and upon integration you will be getting x is equal to y naught by s naught y u minus integration of 0 to u du by 1 minus u power n plus yc by y naught whole raised to m integration of 0 to u y u power minus n minus m divided by 1 minus u power n into du plus constant, or integration of 0 to u du by 1 minus u power n is equal to f of u comma n. And you can have the second integral of this form, and your final equation will be, upon integration you'll be getting the final equation. So this function f of u comma n is known as varied flow function. F of u comma n is known as varied flow function, and you have the tables which is available. For the various functions. So you can see the table. The function f of u comma n is a varied flow function, and you have extensive tables for f of u comma n. And the table which is showing f of u comma n and few values of n can be taken from the table 5.1. Okay, and you can have the method of obtaining the analytical solutions for the integral and non-integral values by using the other person known as Gill. And the numerical integration of this, the integration of 0 to u du by 1 minus u power n can be performed by using computers. This integration can be performed by using computers and to obtain the values of varied flow functions. Okay, and there is a fixed procedure, and this whatever actually you wanted to know is, in practical applications the exponents n and m, we have assumed two exponents, hydraulic exponent n and m, they are likely to depend on the depth of flow and average values of the exponents which are applicable to the range of values should be considered. Okay, and so these are the some of the parts of your direct integration. Now how we are going to use this direct integration for the varied flow computations. We will see one typical problem. Let us consider a small problem, how the direct integration method is actually useful. You consider a trapezoidal channel which has a bed width of 5 meters and the slope. So this is the trapezoidal channel. So you have bed width of 5 meters and bed slope of 0.0004, and you have a side slope of 2 horizontal, 1 vertical. So 2 horizontal, 1 vertical, and Manning's n is equal to 0.02, and you have the normal depth. Y naught is given 3 meter, normal depth is given. And if the channel empties into a pool at the downstream, which means that while the channel is coming actually here, the channel empties into the pool. So here is your pool. The channel empties into the pool at the downstream. So this is the upstream and this is the downstream. And the pool elevation is 1.25 meter higher than the canal bed elevation. Okay, so what is the elevation of the pool is higher, 1.25 meter higher than the canal bed elevation at downstream. Now you need to calculate what is the resulting GVF profile. Okay, you have to assume kinetic energy correction factor alpha is equal to 1. Now how we are going to solve it? Okay, so you have been given uniform flow Y naught is 3 meters for a trapezoidal channel. What is the formula? B plus 2 my. So here, sorry, B plus my into y. So B plus my into y, here m is equal to 2, and okay, so you have found out what is your area, and your perimeter is again B plus m into square root of 1 plus m square into y. Now we have found out what is your perimeter and hydraulic mean depth A by P. All this is for normal depth. Normal depth. Normal depth in the sense uniform flow. For a uniform flow condition. Okay. Now R naught is A by P. So I found out what is hydraulic mean depth. And what is the discharge actually here? At normal depth, the discharge is going to be 1 by n r to the power 2 by 3 s to the power half into A. So I have found out n 1 by n A into r to the power 2 by 3 s to the power half. You are substituted and find out what is your discharge. Now how to compute the critical depth calculations for a trapezoidal channel. So for a trapezoidal channel, the critical flow computation will be phi is equal to m raised to 1.5 q divided by square root of g into b raised to 2.5. This is the factor phi. It is useful for, this is for the interpretation which you are going to take from the table. Okay, now you know what is your value of m is 2, q is known, b is known, find out what is your phi. Okay, now what is the table 2a.2? I'll show you the table. So I'll just show you the table. You can see the table here. This is the table which is showing the values of psi for the computation of critical depth in trapezoidal channel. So for various values of epsilon and the psi values are given. What is epsilon value here is nothing but your m into yc divided by b. M is a side slope, yc is the critical depth, b is just like yc, just like y naught by b, what we have seen in the previous gradually varying flow computation. Similarly, for critical depth computation, you have table 2a.2, the psi is equal to m into yc by b. Now, this m is a side slope, yc is a critical depth, b is the breadth of the channel. And what is our psi? Psi is nothing but alpha into alpha is kinetic energy correction factor. Q square m cube divided by g into d raised to 5. Okay. Now you know the values of psi and epsilon. Now you have to find out what is the value. Let me show you the so you can see here the value of phi is 0.7867 and the value of psi is 0.676. So from the table you are taking the value of psi. Now from the table if you are taking the value of psi, then you can find out what is the critical depth from this. So if you are finding out from the table, then from this value you can find out what is my YC. So YC comes around 1.69 meters. Now you can see critical depth is YC is 1.69 meter. Since our Y0 is greater than YC, the channel slope is mild. So what is Y0 here? Y0 is, what is the value of Y0 actually here? The value of Y0 is 3 meter. Am I right? The value of Y0 is 3 meter. So your Y0 is 3 meter and your YC is 1.69 meter. Now your Y0 is greater than YC. Hence your channel slope is mild because this is your NDL, this is your CDL, so it is a mild slope. Since the downstream pool elevation is 1.25 meter above the channel bed, this is given in the problem. The downstream pool elevation is 1.25 meter above the channel bed. So this is going to be the channel bed. Then while your YC is equal to 1.69 meter. Hence the downstream control will be the critical depth. So how the water surface profile will be? So it will be an M2 curve and it will be extending from YC is 1.69 meter at the downstream end to Y tends to Y0 or Y which becomes up to 3 meter of the upstream end. So we can have the flow profile, the various parameters we can see here. I can show you the diagram and I can discuss like. So your normal depth is varying from 3 meter to 1.69 meter and Y by B is, when you are dividing this by B, you will be getting 0.6 to 0.338. Now you have to compute the hydraulic exponents N and M. How to compute hydraulic exponents? Again, we have to go back to the figure. Let me show you the figure. and your the values of m and n are assumed to be the hydraulic exponents are n is equal to 4.17 to 3.88 from the figure 3.8. So these values for the value of y by b. This is for the value of y by b is point this one. You are finding out from the figure what are the hydraulic exponent of your m and n. Okay, these two values are obtained within this range. Now you can take up the average values of these hydraulic exponents, and what you can have here is assuming the average values of n and m, you are using the above equation from the direct integration method, and then you are substituting u is equal to y by y naught. This is y by y naught, and your j again from the direct integration. Find out what is your y naught by s naught, and you know n and m, and you can find out what is j. Substitute the value of j here, and calculate what is the value of x. Now this equation gives you the calculation of distance x. So these calculations you can perform in a table for various values of m and n, u, and your x and delta x. Okay, how the calculations are performed in the table is the calculations which you have to commence from the downstream control depth of yc is 1.69 meter, because your yc is going to be on the downstream side, your critical depth is 1.69 meters, and it is terminated at here. It is yc is 3 meter. Sorry, this is 3 meter is the normal depth. So the flow, this is the critical flow. The flow is varying from 1.69 meter to 3 meter. So you have to do the computations from 1.69 to 3 meter in the backward. So how that is what is shown in the table here. For various values of y, find out u, nu, f of u comma n, sorry, f of u comma n, f of nu comma m. Then with j and u and nu, we are finding what is your x. X is nothing but distance. This distance. This is going to be your x. This is going to be your x. So when y is equal to 1.69 meters, your x is going to be 259 meter, and your delta x is going to be 0, and your length is going to be 0. Okay, when y is 1.8 meter, then your x is going to be 254, delta x is 5 meter, and your length is going to be 5 meter. Okay, because this variation 259 minus 254, you have 5 meter is delta x. Similarly, here the variation is 254 minus 243, 11 meter is the variation. Here 243 minus 213, 30 meter is the variation. But what is the length here? Here it is going to be delta x. So I can say here 1.69 meter, and here the depth is here 1.69 meter, maybe somewhere here it is 3 meter normal depth. So from 1.69 to 1.8 meter. When it is 1.8 meter, then the distance is, this length is 5 meter. Okay, and when this is 1.89 meter, and this is 11 meter, and when the depth is 2.01 meter, this depth is 30 meter, this length. So This is going to be your delta x. And when it is 2.13 meter, then your delta x is going to be 40 meter. Is it clear? So likewise, you are computing the profile from the downstream pool elevation up to the normal depth in the upstream side. Okay, so with this way we can compute the profile. So the profile can be easily drawn at various points. You can see the profile now. This is the diagram. So from 3 meter to the pool elevation. Okay, so with this pool elevation is going to be 1.69 meter. Okay, and now this is a pool. Actually there is a break here. So this is for, then what is the total length you can estimate. So if you keep on going like this 1.69 1.9 like this, the profile is changing like this. You are plotting the profile since you know your delta x as well as your y1 y2 y3, then you'll be able to find out the draw the profile for various points. Now this is going to be your gradually varied flow profile. So now we are able to compute the gradually varied flow profile by using direct integration. Okay, so I will stop here. The remaining things we will continue in the next class. We are talking about laboratory, right? Laboratory, today I will give you that laboratory manual by today. That is without fail I will send you by today the soft copy, sorry, the PDF copy of the lab manual, so that you can start writing the manual. Is it okay? Shall I close here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.